Hello everybody, this is a quick review of the McFarlane Speeding Bullets figure. What an awesome figure. I would never have to say this because now that he's going comic accurate, he's coming up with some figures that I never thought I would get, like the Nightfall Azrael Batman, and then hopefully I can get my hands on the Green Lantern Parallax figure with this. Wow. I never thought I would be getting a figure of this character, and he does it so well. Um, as you know, I'm not that much of a collector in terms of being picky with how um, this is a slightly different gray from that, but it is there. He has a texture on this side, texture on that side. I don't believe that was in the comics, but it does add a little bit of variety to the figure. I love that the shield or crest is raised from the chest, so it's not just painted. The bat symbol is just painted. This is not a reuse of the Batman Nightfall. It's a completely different head sculpt. Also, the paint application looks great on mine. This, even though it's static and it's plasticky, it has such a great flow to the figure. It just adds to the way it looks. I mean, it presents very, very well. I also like the fact that with McFarlane, you can get the arms close to the body, so it's a very neutral stance, standing up. I'm gonna have to stand it. You're gonna see it from the top down. Obviously, one of the great features about McFarlane's figures is it stands fairly easily on its own without the stand, even though he does include a stand. This is the flight stand that he includes because it's a flying figure, which is cool. These are also very useful for other figures as well. I use it for that. I don't really use that figure too much because I don't really pose my figures too much. I've changed my presentation of figures where it's just standing like this. Now, it depends on the collector, obviously, but because I have so many figures, the force or the size of the collection lends a sense of gravity when you see them all together and they're all standing in there. Anyway, even though McFarlane has been doing so many variations of Batmans and Supermans, I did not even hesitate when I pre-ordered this. It was just a no-brainer, and it's really good. Going back to the review again, looks good. The back looks great. Articulation on the neck, look at that, going up like that so he can fly if he needs to. If that's not enough, you can obviously crunch. Wow, look at that. And then crunches like that. What else do you need? Right? And then sideways. Look, I love it. And now this particular figure, it's not plagued by the how would I describe it? Some of his figures, they're like this or like this, and I've tried everything I can. Sometimes they're just stuck in that position. This one, not a problem. If yours is, there's a great possibility that I'm thinking of that somehow one of those either pegs are stuck in a bad position and you just need to either pop it out and reheat it, make sure everything is loose. And that's, I can't think of any reason why some of his figures are like this. Like, goes very, very well, moves very, very well, and positions very well. I don't, if the design is the same, it should be the same. It should react the same. But some of his figures, it's just like that. I love this design of the shoulders. You can do everything you want. All right, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. You cannot even tell the wrist is right there, but there it is. So well. One of the things too, you have to admit, McFarlane is listening to the complaints of the fans because it comes with two fists. Remember, our first complaints with McFarlane used to like one fist and one open hand. Why? Why would he do that? Is it really that hard to just? He's fixed it. Took him a while, but you have to realize that when we're talking about this figure, he's already got figures in production like maybe a year ahead from now. So it does take time for the changes to trickle through to us. But we know for a fact he's listening, because he is changing things, and he's changing it for the positive, I think. Um, Now, the way he cuts his joints over here, it's usually weird, right? But it keeps the aesthetic of the sculpt very well. But when you open it, obviously you're gonna suffer some weirdness going on. I don't really mind that. The fact of the matter is, it looks good posed in certain ways. If I'm a kind of collector that wants to pose fighting articulation, I'm looking at the whole pose. I'm not concentrating on the knee, right? Because I see the benefit of keeping that kind of a cut, because when I have it like this, it looks very well made. And then this design over here, I'm not familiar. I'm not sure if that's the correct design, but I'm gonna say it must be, because it's been very, very accurate so far. Again, there's the ankle joint. Again, different color, passable. It's good enough for me. Ankle swivel. Wow, look at that. One of my main complaints, obviously, is like when I'm comparing McFarlane's figures to Hasbro's. Like, man, I can't even tell. With Hasbro, it's so well done. His is just like big blobs of ball sometimes. Now, look at that, seamless. Obviously, it will look bad if you were to turn it like that, but why would you have a foot like that? Okay. Then you have the toe articulation. I rarely use this, but you know what? When you're running like that, wow, makes it look good though. Of course, I wish the peg holes were here. I know now what a big difference visually it makes when a figure is pegless. Doesn't have the peg holes like that. But you know, I've been playing with toys for decades, so having pegs over there, it doesn't really bother me as much. As long as they're all properly painted, I'm gonna give it. This is the top McFarlane Speeding Bullets figure. You have to order this. If you know the story, if you love the idea of it, this is the Elseworld story. You have to get it. Even the idea of Superman or Kal-El becoming Batman. I mean, and no spoilers, the character does grow beyond being the Batman. Well, he's still the Batman, but he grows beyond this. So I wonder if Todd McFarlane will do that version as well. But another thing I really love about McFarlane figures is he rarely does any kind of reuse. And when he does, I can't tell, man. Because Batman does have this kind of gauntlets. I don't know if he's reused this. I don't care, because it looks good anyway. I don't know if he's used his Buddy Buck. I don't care, because it looks good anyway. This just looks good. What a great figure. Thumbs up for me. You guys gotta get it. If you're a fan of McFarlane, if you're a fan of the DC characters, this is a must. There is no, I can't think of anything negative to say about it. Right on. I'll see you in the next review.